I keep a journal at my desk at all times. It helped me stay focused and improved on a daily basis, and honestly, helped me to achieve every goal that I set out for myself. And let me show you how you can use it for your life as well. A lot of people have great ideas, great business ideas, great technological ideas, whatever it may be, but they may even start doing and working towards those ideas, but most often they just fall short, or they don't accomplish it, or they don't even start. And one of the main reasons, in my opinion, that they don't even get the ball rolling is because they do not journal. The idea of journaling comes from the belief and the habit that if thoughts or ideas that get stuck in your head usually don't really get done. I know a lot of super smart people with very smart ideas, but that's all that they have, ideas. None of it really materialize, and they rarely even do anything about this. When you put your thoughts on paper, real paper, not a laptop, not a computer, not your phone, real pen and paper, a few very powerful things happen. And let's go over them one by one. And that's the topic of today's video. Okay, the first thing that happens when you put your ideas onto paper, ideally in a journal, is that it's no longer just an idea. It's no longer just a thought. As simple and as naive as it may sound to you, but when you have a thought, it is what it is. We have thousands of thoughts every day, and most of them just disappear and we move on to the next thing, right? But the moment you write it down, the moment you take time out of your day to use a real pen and you write it down in your journal, it becomes something different. Once you remove it from your head and your brain and you write it down, it becomes a goal. All right, the second thing that happens once you start journaling and write things down is that you took the first action towards completing your goal. Congratulations, you can pat yourself on the back. You just did the first step. Even if you didn't notice it, you just took a very important first step towards that goal, right? You would be surprised how many people don't even get here, don't even get to this step, right? You're one step closer to achieving the goal that you just wrote down, hence it is a goal. It's no longer a thought, right? So simply writing it down, you already took action. You're already one step closer to achieving this new goal. And while it doesn't sound impressive at this moment, you're now one step closer to achieving that goal. And it's better to be one step closer than nothing. Right. The third thing that happens is you don't forget it. Okay. How many times you had a thought in your head or an idea that you thought of and you just simply forgot about it, right? Life gets in the way. Things happen, you wake up, and it's so common that we don't even think about it, right? But it's so overlooked that I think it needs to be mentioned. The fact that you wrote it down and it's written down in a journal makes it something that you see hopefully every day, or even if it's only every couple of days when you open your journal, it stays on top of your mind. Most of the time, you won't forget things that you wrote down. That is a fact. Even if you stop right here and you don't continue watching this video, or you don't continue doing anything regarding journaling, you're already ahead. I promise you. By simply doing the simple act and building the simple habit of writing things down in a journal, which most people don't even do, you're already ahead. Our brain will not let you leave things unresolved once they are written down in a notebook or in a journal, right? It's just a human thing. That's just how our brain works most of the time. When we have a task or something that we want to get done that it's written down, you want to get it done, right? It's going to feel uncomfortable if you just leave it at that. So simply writing things down builds and reinforces the habit of being a much goal-oriented person, which is exactly what you want to do. I talked about this in a previous video, and I'm not gonna go too in depth about it right now, but the way that how I write things in my journal every day is that, like in a nutshell, I write my goals as if they are already done, usually in a past tense sentences, like they're already done, I already achieved them. And I try to be very short, and I try to be very precise about the outcome that I want. And if you want to watch that video, I'll link to it here or here, and you can go watch it and see a more in-depth of how I phrase my journaling. It will help you to get an idea of like how you want to do it. You can write something like, I made $1 million this year doing da 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 da, whatever that thing may be for you, right? You can phrase it a little bit differently, but make sure you have a precise outcome and a clear deadline of what you want and how long you think it's going to get you to achieve it. All right, now things are getting interesting. Now your brain starts working backwards from your goal. This is like the magic of how journaling helps you. Now your brain starts working backwards from your goal and see how you can achieve it. Right? Your brain naturally starts making plans around these goals that you set out for yourself, and trying to figure it out how to achieve it. Even if you don't know yet how are you going to achieve those goals, the process is already started, it's already brewing, the wheels are turning, and you want to build on that. That's exactly the process that you want to reinforce. So for example, I noticed on YouTube, a lot of people are starting to trade stocks, trade options or whatnot, whatever. If we just take that as an example, right? Writing your end goal and then going backwards from it, now you know what you need to do to get a step closer. Right now your brain starts asking these questions, like, for example, what do I need to do to get started with trading? Right? If I want to buy a stock, what do I need to do? What is the first step? I need some money, obviously. I need a broker, right? And again, let's not go into the technical things, but you need someone or a company to help you buy the stock, right? You need a laptop, you need internet connection. Now you have multiple smaller goals that were kind of like broken down from that high-end goal that you wanted to achieve. And you have smaller, easier goals that you know you need to do in order to achieve that big goals. And this process mostly happens pretty naturally because, you know, the process, like I said before, it's already started. Right? So, all right, finding a broker, check, you know, you look online, you look on Google, not that hard. Maybe you find a few, you narrow it down, you know which one you want to work with now. Okay, you already had a laptop, great. Obviously, you have your phone, check. Maybe you're short on money, okay? So maybe now you need to have a different, smaller task to save a little bit of money because maybe you need a few $1,000s, doesn't matter. How much you need to save, how much money you already have, gets your wheels going. Right now you have a plan. And like I said, once you have a goal, it's not you went from a thought to a goal and now you already have a plan on how you're going to do things. That's so much different than just having a quick thought about something and never thinking about it again, right? So once you do all these things, and most of the time it happens naturally, and again, it doesn't matter which goal it is or which person are you, everyone has a different situation. What matters is that the ball is now rolling. Now I want to give you a quick pro tip from my experience is that if you can, and it's best if you try to do that, don't just write in your journal one time and that's it. Try to do it as a habit every day, every morning, or every day before you start your work. That's why I keep it at my work desk, because when I wake up after I do my morning routine, I go to my desk, it's waiting for me there. This way, again, I'm building the habit of doing it every day, right? And the reason that you do it every day is that you will naturally do things to progress towards those goals that you wrote, right? Maybe you found a broker, maybe you found something that helps you achieve your goal faster, and you read your past days goals, right? And it gives you ideas on what to do today or tomorrow. Maybe you told your partner that you wanted to start that business or start investing in stock or whatever, and she or he really believes in you, and she has a little bit of money saved up, and she says, all right, let's do it together, and you form some sort of a business relationship. You don't know. The point is that things are in motion, things are starting to happen, and whatever your goal might be, the fact that you woke up and started your day with journaling puts you way ahead into achieving that goal. I like to think about it as, instead of the day dictating to me how it's going to go when I wake up in the morning, when I start my day, I set the rules for the day by the simple fact that I journaled and I wrote down my goals, or maybe I also did that and reviewed the goals from yesterday, right? I set the tone for the day. I dictate the day, how I want it to shape up, how I want to create it, right? Instead of the day telling me what's going to happen and dictating my schedule and my time.